John with Osteopath here again today. I'm going to talk to you today about two of my favourite exercises that I use to deal with lower back problems. Now, one of the things that you find with people with lower back problems is that invariably they have very, very tight hamstrings. So, of course, the hamstring, of course, is this muscle here. Now, if the hamstrings are tight, when they're bending, they're going to bend not with the hips, they're going to bend with the back, like this. And that puts a lot of leverage through the lower back here, okay? And over a period of time, you can cause a lot of strains of the ligaments and then eventually the discs, and that can lead, in some cases, to a prolapse, and then it presses on nerves and goes down your leg and gives you lots of pain and takes you a long time to get a recover from. And one of the reasons it takes a long time to recover is simply because the mechanics of the body is bad in the first place. You actually have to change the mechanics of the body in order to, and create new habits in order to fix the problem. And the other thing that tends to be a problem with a lot of people with lower back problems is the tummy is very, very soft and flabby. So your core, these muscles in here, not the six-pack so much, but the muscles underneath it, the transversus abdominis, which acts as a corset, holding everything nice and tight. This can often become a little bit loose, okay? And so when that happens, the weight bearing doesn't go straight down the spine evenly. It starts to, if you can imagine it, you arch your back a little bit because this maybe is a bit loose here and it sticks out as I'm doing now, and therefore you put much more pressure on the spine you need to do. So again, that increases the wear and tear, increases the load on the vertebral bodies and the discs and the fascia joints behind them. So my program for the most basic back pain resolution is to stretch your hamstrings and to tighten the core. And we're going to do this in two ways. So let's start with the hamstring. So turn onto your back, lay down, hold your tummy in. I always recommend you hold your tummy whatever you do. Bring one leg up, straighten the other one. Now simply straighten the leg up in the air. Now when you do this, pull the shoulders back towards the floor, not up around your ears, but back towards the floor to protect your neck. And then pull the toes down towards you as you try to straighten your leg. Hold that for 30 seconds, not forgetting, of course, to hold the tummy in to protect your spine. And then you repeat it on the other side. So again, leg up, hands behind the knee, straighten the leg, toes down, and pull the shoulders back towards the floor. And release. The next thing I'd like you to try and do is what some people call the bird dog exercise. You're going to come onto all fours, and again, this is all about the tummy. Now, again, this transversus abdominis muscle attaches the bottom of the rib cage here, all the way down to your pelvis here. And it's nice and tight. It can also it helps with proprioception and balance. So that's how we're going to train it today. So you're going to come down onto all fours, holding that tummy in, sliding your leg out behind you. Now note, what you're going to do for this is to keep the back flat and level, okay? Now you don't want to overarch and you don't want to over round it either. So the way we do this is by keeping this tummy tight. You lift your foot 1 inch off the ground, point the toe, and maintain that position. You do the same thing, of course, on the other side, like so. And hold that there. If you notice, as I'm doing this, my foot is a lot lower than my back. You don't want to lift the leg too high, because if you start to lift the leg too high, what's happening in my spine is overarching, and that can irritate the back as well. You also want to do the same thing with the arms. So bring one arm out in front of you like so, and hold that there. All the while holding that stomach in nice and tightly in here. Do the same thing, of course, on the other side. And the important thing as well is keep your eye level where your fingertips are. So look down here. Obviously, I'm looking at you at the moment, so my head is lifted and twisted. But ideally, the head should be straight down. You don't want to be overextending or over flexing, because that, of course, can pull on the neck as well. You don't end up with a neck problem too. Once you've done that, ideally for 30 seconds on each limb, then try and do it with the arms and legs together. Always use the opposite arm and leg, because you're trying to weight bear on one arm and one leg via your oblique sling, okay? That's the oblique muscles that come across the body in conjunction with the transversus abdominis. Now, this is one of the ways the body functions. When you're walking, of course, you're moving the arms and the legs, of course, in this kind of fashion. Actually, maybe not quite in that fashion, but if you know what I mean. So what's happening is the fascia in the body has a habit of pulling you one way. So as this leg kicks back behind you here, glute contracts here, and the body rolls forward. So you get a tension through this point here. As you go back the other way, because the body twists through here. So we want to try to make sure that's working properly. Now, one thing we see with the people who have bad lower backs is the abdominal muscles are not contracting properly. So the lower back does all the work. So you end up overarching and again, over rotation of the back. So what we do now is the same exercise, tummy in, leg behind you, point the toe, 1 foot, 1 inch off the ground, and other arm from the opposite side, and hold that there. So for 30 seconds, okay? It may be quite hard, you may be a bit wobbly, don't worry if you are. That's perfectly normal. Of course, remember, keep the eye level where your fingertips are, about here, okay? Swap it over, do the same thing on the other side. When you do this, it does help if you can feel it's in your buttock muscle. So make sure you're squeezing your buttock muscle and not your lower back. Because if you're getting it wrong, like I said before, what will happen is you'll arch your lower back to try and lift your leg. We don't want to be doing that. Anyway, give that a try. Do the exercises, ideally twice a day. If you have time, maybe 3 times a day. Let's say breakfast, lunch and dinner. Ideally before you eat rather than afterwards. And that will just help to tighten the core and give you a bit more flexibility in your hamstring, and it'll take a lot of pressure off your lower back. So give that a try. Let me know how you get on. Obviously, don't expect miracles in one setting, but some people do get very good results very, very quickly. Anyway, give it a week, see how you get on. See you soon. Take care.